Hey English 112, Miss Brewer here for your week 12 video lecture. So this week we're going to talk about business writing. You guys submitted your literature reviews on Sunday, and now you're going to move on to the last phase of our course, which is business writing. So if you can just pull up Moodle and follow along with me as I go through the course lecture and your assignment for the week. So you have Business Writing Basics, which is a course lecture. Some of the stuff you'll see on your final exam, so you want to make sure that you make note of it. We are going to be looking at a very different style of writing now, okay? So business writing, we're not in this academic field anymore, so we're much more concise, we're much more clear with our writing. We need to think about the audience that we're writing for. We need to use shorter sentences, write much more to the point. We're not necessarily going to be formal and academic the entire time, specifically with this assignment for this week. So you'll be able to use personal pronouns in your writing for your cover letter this week because you're talking about yourself. So that changes up a little bit for this style of writing. So we want to talk about just kind of like the paragraphs, like the way you are going to set things up. Your paragraphs are much shorter. So you definitely would not go past 5 sentences on a paragraph, usually 2 to 4, completely to the point, on topic, and it's very short and concise, and it's broken up so that it's very easy to read and very easy to see what the point is of what you're writing immediately. We're using very plain English because we don't know who's reading this. We want to make sure that we get across what we're trying to convey very plainly. We need to use concise language. What that means is you still need to get across the information, but you don't want to do it in a very long form, okay? You want to be as concise as possible. When you're editing, can you make this shorter? Okay, so kind of think about that. I have some links here for you to look at in regard to tone, how to be concise, how to eliminate your being wordy, and I want you to kind of look at that. One thing I want to talk about, and these are the things that you're going to see on your final exam, are the different styles or the different types of things that you will write. Okay, so what is a memo? Okay, you'll see that on the exam. Your memo is something that you're sending in-house, okay? So it's not really for anyone else to see. It's just for the people that work for that particular company. And then you have a link that you can look at, like the basic setup of a memo. A business letter would be sent outside of the company, so you're now representing the company, so that will probably go through a little bit more revision and making sure that things are right. But if we we're contacting another business and needed to send them a letter, or contacting a customer, okay, we would send that letter. And then, of course, email has taken over everything, but it's really important that we understand that the way that we write emails is important, okay? We can't just, a lot of the emails that I get, they don't tell me who the person is, what they really want. They're very vague. So we really need to practice on the way that we write emails. Emails are shorter, but they still need to make sure that they are kind of in that business style, like chunking things up in short paragraphs and being very specific about what we're asking. So that's really important. Specifically in college, when you guys are emailing your college professors or instructors, you should always identify yourself, identify the course. If there are sections, identify the section, because some of us teach multiple sections of the same course, multiple sections of the same online course. So if I get an email and it says, hey, Miss Brewer, I'm so-and-so and I'm from your English 112 online. Great, I have 3 of those. So which one are you in? Okay, so the more information you can provide in your email without having it be super long, the better. And always make sure that in your subject line, you're putting the reason that you're writing the email. Sometimes I have students that write their entire email in their subject line. That's not a good look. So the line is just what the email is about, like attendance question, grading question, assignment question, okay? And you can sometimes put the course number in there if you want to as well. So that email kind of thing is important. So look at the email etiquette link that I provide. And then finally, ABC format. And this is really how I want you to construct your cover letter for your assignment this week. And you'll need to understand what ABC format is for your final exam. So ABC format is just these 3 sections that you include in your business writing letters. So A is the abstract. So that's like a paragraph or 2, the reason that you're writing the letter. So for your cover letter, of course, you'd be expressing interest in a job position, and you would have a paragraph that says that you're doing that. The body is what B stands for, okay? And that's like the bulk of the information that you're writing, okay? So for your cover letter, the body would be, you know, why you're a good fit for that particular position, you know, and what you're going to be able to give to the company in that position, based on your experiences in the past, so on and so forth. And then C is the conclusion, okay? So you wrap it up. And for your cover letter, your conclusion would be something to the effect of, you know, I look forward to hearing from you in regard to the position, so on and so forth, and you're wrapping up what you've already said, okay? So ABC format, A is the abstract, B is the body, C is the conclusion, and that's how we're going to actually construct our cover letter for our business writing project this week. There's a video included in here for you guys to watch about writing a business letter. And that kind of just is the overview for how we're going to write. This is how we're going to write this style of writing, this very short, concise, to the point, allowing the use of personal pronouns, so on and so forth. That's going to be for the next 2 projects that you have. So the project for this week, and then your final project for the course, which will begin next week. So if you want to go back with me, I'm just going back to week 12. I'm providing you guys with a bunch of information about creating resumes and cover letters, because that's what your business writing project is going to be for this week, okay? So this Harvard workshop is really good. It gives a lot of information. It gives a lot of examples. So take your time and read through resume tips, what resumes should look like, okay? These action verbs for your resume, really helpful when you're trying to come up with things that you did for your job and things that you may have done for different positions that you've held. These are great verbs to use in a resume, so make sure that you're using these. And then you have some sample resumes. So how you're going to organize your resume is up to you. For this assignment, I would organize it to best present yourself for your dream job, okay? And so this person, they have everything centered, which is fine. What I don't like about the first example is that it's a 2-page resume, because I've always believed that your resume should go on 1 page. Now, that means my personal resume has really small font, but I always have been a believer that a resume should be a 1-page deal. One thing you want to notice is when you're putting your dates, and you should always put dates, you know, for jobs that you had, always put the most recent at the top for your resume. The most recent thing should be at the top, and then you go down from years, okay? So if I was applying for a job, I will put my current job that I'm in now first, okay? Instructor at Lenore Community College, dates when I started to present. Then the next job that I had, okay, underneath of that, and then those dates. How long was I there? That's important. People want to know that you have been places for longer than a year at every place. If you're job hopping a lot, that makes it more difficult to actually nail down positions later on. So the next sample, you'll see that she's got Nadia Smythe. This would be my resume, okay? Her font is smaller, but she's on 1 page. So that's what I prefer, okay? And then just a couple of examples, and you can kind of, actually that's a lie, because my resume looks like the third, the Jessie Giant. That's what my resume looks like. It's a lot of information, but it's not 2 pages, okay? So just kind of as you scroll through this workshop, just giving you different examples, and I want you to create your own resume for your dream job, and I'll talk about that in just a second. If you scroll down, it's not until page 18, so get all the way to the bottom of this workshop, and then you will have information for how to write your cover letter. Okay, so use this Harvard workshop because it's going to be super helpful for you completing your assignment for this week. So this week you guys are going to submit one document, a Microsoft Word document. The first page will be your cover letter. The second page will be your resume. I want it in one document. Don't upload two. One document, first page cover letter, second page resume, all right? What I want you to do is think about, where would I love to work? Like, what would be my dream job? Okay, maybe it's the NSA, maybe it's Lenore Community College, maybe it's a university somewhere, you know, maybe it's a police department, wherever you want to work. What is your dream job there? And I want you to create a cover letter. So you'll need to look up the address for a place, a real place. We're not making it up. And you're going to write a cover letter for the job of your dreams, okay? So let's say the job of my dreams is an instructor at Lenore Community College. Then what I'm going to do is create a cover letter. I'm going to look up the community college. I'm going to look up the address, and I'm going to put that at the top of the cover letter because it goes there. And then to whom it may concern, if you want to get really creative, you could look up who you would send that to. And then I'm going to write my cover letter for that job. Okay, so I'm writing, you know, to express interest in the position of blah, blah, blah. I feel I would be a really good fit for this particular position, you know, because of my experience and depth of knowledge. Boom, that's the abstract. Body, why am I good for that job? Conclusion, can't wait to hear from you, okay? And then your resume, I want you to really actually make a resume. So if you already have one, I want you to clean it up. Make sure you review the workshop, make sure you fancy it up, use some of those action verbs, make sure that you're following the date, most recent first. Make sure that, guys, if you have jobs that you're putting the duties down, okay, what did you do in that job? Try to make yourself sound good, okay? Use those action verbs to make yourself sound really good in that job. If you're someone who's never worked, then try to figure out what have you done that had some sort of responsibility. Have you babysat? Have you, you know, done yard work? All right, whatever we can do to create this resume. Education, include your education. And then, you know, maybe you want to include any recognition or special technical skills depending on the job. All right, so that's your assignment for this week. It's a pretty big one. It's 100 points for your coursework grade. So it's rather heavily weighted in that section. So please do it right, okay? Make sure that it's one document, first page cover letter, second page resume. We don't have to stay in Times New Roman font anymore. We don't have to stay at 12 point anymore, but make sure that it's neat, easily read. Please review it for grammar issues. Please revise it, go through the process, all right? So get it, you know, put together, and then have someone look at it or have someone help you revise it before it's due on Sunday. And that's what you guys are completing for this particular week. For your attendance assignment, because I do have an attendance assignment for you, I want you, in your own words, to tell me what ABC format is. You guys have a great week, and I will check in with y'all next week for your final project.